Hello and welcome back to Hummel Park in Omaha, Nebraska. Currently we're sitting 3 under from the front 9, heading into the back 9, starting with hole 10, which is a 355-foot kind of tweener hole. I'm going to call it a par 4 for the sake of this video, and it's also more fun to get birdies. But it is super easy to take a 4 or 5 or even worse on this hole. But you got to hit this super tight gap you can see right off the tee, maybe 75 feet down the hole here. So you got to thread that needle and then hyzer way right. Try to get a great skip, but you can see I'm even in the thick stuff. Again, Hummel pretty much known for its nasty rough and lots of elevation. And so I had to just pitch out there, but close enough to the basket where I should be able to get a birdie since I am calling this a par 4. So there it is, birdie on hole 10. And nice start to the back 9 there. Putting me at 4 under for the round. Going into hole 11, a 206-foot par 3. This one, it looks pretty easy, just a chipper kind of forehand, but with that elevation and some little bit of a tight gap, I guess, and it's a little trickier than it looks. So you almost have to throw a stable disc on hyzer to get as far right as you need. And I guess you could probably go with a gliding more mid-range on hyzer as well. But I went with the driver route just to get the distance. But ended up about 20 feet or so. Took my time on that one and did get the birdie. So again, it's just like the front 9, we're 2 down to start the back 9 here. Going into hole 12. Hole 12 is way far downhill. It's a really fun one to throw. 363-foot par 3. The key on this is to aim low. If you aim low, kind of straight, then when your disc hits the ground here, it'll skip. I did not do that this time, but somehow I got lucky and ended right next to the basket for another birdie. So 3 down through 3 on the back 9. Great start here. That hole's interesting. Sometimes you can park it with a bad shot. Sometimes you throw a good shot and you're pretty far away. So anyway, hole 13 is 292-foot par 3. Today there's some real nasty hole placements if you go further back, but this one's kind of in the easier position today. So just a little bit of a forehand is what I'm throwing, a nice high hyzer. And I was a little bit short. I don't think I chose a glidey enough disc, and it hyzered out on me too early. But I'll give it a little bit of a go here from circle 2 and sailed just over the baskets. So that should be a tap in for a par, first par on the back 9. So I think we're sitting at 6 down going into hole 14. There's a road that goes between hole 13 and 14 here that comes into play on a lot of the hole placements, which you'll see on hole 14. In fact, lately my play on hole 14, this current one, is just kind of a layup. So hole 14 is a 353-foot par 3. And there's like I said, that road on the left side and real nasty rough on the right. So it's almost not worth it to me. I'd end up going out of bounds, it seems like, almost every time. So I'm going with a putter play off the tee here, and I'm just trying to get to this ditch. There's kind of a drainage ditch, and I was worried it's going to sail for a second, but it does end up right there where I want, into this kind of sketchy looking ditch you can see. But anyway, just a little bit of a chip forehand. I threw it a little bit too low, but got a nice skip there right next to the basket. Again, for a par. So again, I'm playing for par there, so super happy to take one. It can really easily leak out left over that road. All right, heading up to hole 15. Hole 15, there's just so much in the way here. This is only a 217-foot par 3. You got to dodge all these trees and logs that are laying down, so just no real good way to get to the basket except for this little flex forehand kind of out wide, and you got to bring it back in. But even that's not guaranteed because your disc wants to land kind of on its edge, and it's real steep here by the basket. These trees are right in my way as well, so I have to kind of straddle out. I'm not usually a straddle putter, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, I just leaked it left. I think that's the second or third one on this round where I've left a little bit left, so kind of frustrating. Could have been a super good round, but I'll have to settle for the par there. All right, crossing over this road, and just down from hole 1. Hole 15 and 16 are kind of on either side of it. Hole 16 is 222-foot par 3. Again, you got to hit a gap. It's kind of the theme here at Hummel. Lots of gaps you got to hit. So I'm going to go with a forehand destroyer. A little bit one of my more lighter destroyers to kind of make that gap since it is uphill. And that was a nice shot there. I played in a tournament here a couple days ago and got this hole both rounds for the birdie. Very similar to this shot. So again, another birdie right here on hole 16. All right. So now heading kind of across the path that goes from hole 1 to hole 2. Hole 16, hole 17 also crosses that path. Hole 17 is a 314-foot par 3. This one's in the straight position today, and so again, severely uphill. The camera doesn't quite do it justice here, but again, this is super high uphill. You can see I'm throwing way above my head, and I leaked it a little bit to the right over the hill, but if you're going to make a mistake, that's probably the way to go. And I got a jump putt and just never gave it a chance. So pretty disappointing par on this one. Sometimes I can get up there and get this one for a birdie, but we'll take the par. That's okay. I think we're still sitting at 7 down, heading into hole 18. Yep, there it is, 7 down. Going to hole 18. Hole 18 is a 304-foot par 3. You got to go kind of through this gap first off, and then way down to this ditch, and then back up. Ideally, you can throw all the way across it. And this is in a par 3 position. There's also a par 4 and a par 5 position on this hole. One of the toughest holes in Omaha, in my opinion, but here I get this just crazy forward left skip, and so I'll take that. It landed safe, which is good. Again, going through that gap off the tee, try and throw hyzer. It's kind of a tough gap sometimes, but if you throw hyzer through those gaps, it makes it a little easier. A little pro tip for you. All right, so I just got to chip up there and take my par. So there it is, guys. This is Hummel Park in Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, do this for me. Give me a thumbs up if you would. That really helps me out. And then check out this video. And until next time, we'll see you out there on the course.